Welcome back to the Smarter Manager YouTube channel. And I want to continue to help us become the smarter manager by having conversations that can help us. And with that, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to be looking at the magic of dashboards. And the challenge we have as project managers is the information comes to us in various forms and fashion. We have information in Dropbox or Vox or Google Drive, OneDrive, Evernote, whatever it is that you walk into a project and how they're storing their information. You may also have a situation where the project has a very clearly laid out folder structure. So for instance, if you look at Project ABC here, they have a folder structure, and this company may choose to use these, and every project has these folders, and within these you have subfolders. So that's great for organizing bulk information, for sharing, for having a space for everything that's needed for every possible project. But many of the projects we will manage may not fit perfectly into that folder structure that's designed to accommodate everything. So therefore, you may end up clicking through 5 folders to get to a folder that is empty and there's nothing there. What you need is somewhere else. Because one of the challenges we have with this folder structure, which using dashboards will solve immediately, is that there may be something that is in this engineering folder that affects both engineering as well as drawings, and it may have information for contracting. But the document can only live in one of these folders, even though there's nothing that says if it's engineering, it cannot also be contracts. So that's one of the challenges with this, in addition to the fact that it's very general, it's global, it's made for a catch-all, so it doesn't fit the specifics of each project. So if we were to get to dashboards now, I'm going to walk you through the fundamental concept of what a dashboard is. A dashboard at its simplest form, and let me show you what a dashboard is not for this conversation. Let's start there. It's not this dashboard we're talking about where you have a bunch of data being processed and summarized and you have charts and graphs, and it becomes super confusing. If you're not into that, if you don't know how to do it, you're like, Rohan, why am I learning dashboards? A dashboard is going to be this URL that you're going to share with your team. And the technology I'm using here is Google Sheets. It can be done in Excel, it can be done in Word, it can be done in Smartsheet, but the concept is the same. You're going to have this URL and you're going to share this URL with your team. So if somebody gets that URL, then guess what they have? They have a link to everything that's here. If we were to click on this first one that is organized, you can name it, you can put it in a structure that you like. If you want this to be over here, you can change it by manipulating the Google Sheet. But what this really represents, it's your communicating to the team member what that document is, which is the work breakdown structure for this project. And if you notice, I got access denied. What it means is that even though you can put links to all of these documents on a dashboard and share the dashboard with everybody, you can still control the permission by controlling the where the data lives and who has permission to the data. If we were to fast forward and look at another option, let's look at paint choice and see what's buried here. If for your project you have selected a paint choice and this needs to be communicated with the team, this URL becomes something that you can plant on the dashboard, and you can name this paint choice for blocks. So the methodology is you give it a name that's descriptive, and depending on the technology you're using, the way you bury the shortcut is going to be slightly different. But that's what I'm doing here. In the case of Google Sheets, you're clicking on it and doing a Control or Command K, and it gives you this window that allows you to name the cell, put a hyperlink. So what it becomes you controlling what is here, and you have already shared this link with your team. so that you can push information to them. You can be in a meeting and something comes and you says, hey, we need that information for the team, and I will say, I'm going to add it to the dashboard. So what I want to show you here is, first of all, it doesn't pull you away from your folder structure system. Because what I typically do is have a section here that has a link to each of the major parent folders in that folder structure. So this project ABC is on the Z drive or whatever drive it is. I have a hyperlink to each of these, and I bury the hyperlink here so that this takes you to the traditional conventional folder structure. So if you're using that, it's still in the dashboard. So we are communicating and supporting the use of the pre-existing, but what we're adding is the ability to put things where we want it. So if we were to continue to look at examples of dashboards, let's jump into another example here. This one is an example that was generated in Smartsheet. But again, the concept is the same. It's the one URL that you're going to share with your team. And when you share this with your team, you are in control of what is here. So as the project evolves and things get more primary and other things recede, you can control and change this. You can label these to be whatever you want. So the finance guys will come here. They will have access to this link that says budget. And you have the budget for the project here, and it's a Google Sheet. So already you're seeing that the dashboard doesn't limit you to one type of technology. And many organizations and projects try to say, oh, we're using this and we're using that. And it's great that you can, and when you can, it's okay. But if you're collaborating and another team is using Google Drive and sending you a bunch of Google links, but you're a company that uses a strict folder structure, or you're using Evernote or OneDrive or whatever else, the dashboard sort of creates this mediator between all of that. So what the team is seeing just this dashboard. They're seeing the budget, which is a Google Drive. They're seeing an access to QuickBooks, which may be the platform that your accounting guys are using to log your financing. You may need to access this document or information from this website every day. So you literally can bury that website on the dashboard. And I want to walk you through just quickly how easy it is to do this, so you understand that you're not taking on a bunch of work. With this technology, I walked you through how to do it in Google Sheets. With this technology, you are clicking on this pencil to edit, and then you are going here to edit this here, and you're adding the shortcut. You're pasting the link here, and you are naming this morning business news, or whatever you want to call it, so that the team recognizes what it is. And now, having already shared the dashboard, everybody now has access up front and center to this new resource that you want to share, right? And that this is customizable. It's never there unless it's relevant. You organize this. So this is finance. Over here is install schedule. If you click on this, it takes you to an install schedule that is there. You come here, you get to another schedule in another format that may have different information for a different team. It may be more focused. It allows you the control to make it become what is relevant, and it doesn't force you to back into this folder structure and you have to back into things. So again, what we're trying to look at here is just the power of the ability to create this one URL that controls information that you're sharing. Over here, I have project documents. And again, all of these are hyperlinks. This goes to a schedule. This goes to a project map that is done in Miro, which is a different platform. So this section here shows project documents. This links to a particular project. This is project one, or this is an entire project schedule. So The fact that you can bury things here, the sky is the limit in terms of how you organize this, and you can continue to build on it in a tremendous way. All right. So just to sort of get things back, it's not this. It's collecting information and pulling information from wherever it is and pushing it into one space that you can organize and you can control. So a part of what I want to focus on with you today, the actionable steps from watching this video, is to understand the functionalities of a dashboard. It's gonna help you to coordinate information, to organize information in a way where you can share information easily with your team. A part of what I'm going to challenge you is to create your first dashboard and share it with your team. And it may just have a link to the drive and a link to a schedule with just two icons. And as things come up and more things need to be shared, the dashboard is where you put it. It really just gives you the power to control and create what you need. It simplifies onboarding in a tremendous way. One URL, everything that's needed there. On projects I have managed, every time I'm bringing in a team lead, I create for the team lead a personalized dashboard that becomes their starting point. That dashboard links them to everything they need for the company. It links them to the folders. It links them to the project dashboard, and it becomes the starting point for their entire interaction with the project. And they don't have to invest time learning the folder structure. They immediately can go on and look at this dashboard and see, okay, schedule is here, okay, finance is here, staffing information is here. It reduces the startup time to zero, and it depends only on their ability to read and process and not on their knowledge of a folder structure that works but they haven't learned yet. Real quick, I want to walk you through and just show you for the purposes of demonstration. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you to trust me on that. It can be done in Microsoft Word, it can be done in Google Sheet, it can be done in Excel, Smartsheet, as long as the tool has the ability to, one, you can share that one sheet with users. So if it's Word document and you have a URL for it, you can bury hyperlinks inside of that Word document. Google Sheets, the same, Excel, Smartsheet, and it becomes very, very functional. So it allows you to, when you source information, you are controlling what the team has and you are able to update it in real time. So sourcing information, controlling information, sharing information. Again, version control is another big challenge. If you have a schedule that is evolving and every week you have an update to that schedule, if you have a link to the updated schedule, when a team member goes to the schedule folder, they don't have to second guess, or if they go to the folder structure, they have to figure out which one is the most current. But if you are controlling it and you have an option and a workflow to change that link that exists that says schedule, and you update this, and this always points to the latest version as soon as that version is published, then you have zero worry that the team will be working from an old schedule, right? So that's another thing where it says you are controlling information, and sharing information is super easy. One link and you have access to everything that you need as part of this project. So a dashboard is a one-page collection of hyperlinks. It centralizes things, and I want to show you that this is just the tip of the iceberg. This particular screen shows a dashboard that is applied in the case of a family, where they have all the fundamental items here. They have a link to the budget, a link to the bank, a link to their homeowners association, another bank, a spend log. All of these are probably different assets in terms of formats. One's a website, one's a Smartsheet, one's probably a link to a Google Sheet. And here, this is showing you that you can take it further, where you can have summaries and dashboard and data to show your team. And over here, we're showing where it can become an icon, so it's super easy and it's visual, and it's a little, it's a lot more powerful. Let me not be modest with the power of dashboard. It's a lot more powerful than a bunch of bookmarks, right? The visual appeal, the ability to organize and reorganize and update is super useful. So I wanna make sure that you all are recognizing that the power of dashboard and the practical uses of dashboard in terms of how many tools you can use for it. So it becomes, to sort of summarize this again, the concept is basic, simple, but powerful when utilized. And there's gonna be a whole other video on this where I deep dive into how you can have a dashboard for each department and how you can link them to the main dashboard. So it's still one URL, but every discipline can have a breakdown and create their own catchment area. So catch me in that video. But as a start, I want us to build the fundamental of dashboarding. The centralized information hub, all the information is linked to that. Accessibility is easy. It's dynamic and updatable, where you can, having shared that one URL, you can then update the links on that URL to share with the team. So we spoke a little bit about dashboards versus the traditional folder structure. Again, it doesn't compete with the traditional folder structure. It actually augments it, where you can have those things linked, as I do here in the middle of this dashboard. All of these links are links to this folder structure that exists. So it's not competing with that. But one of the problems it's solving is that if you have a document that should be linked to finance because it has financial implications, but it's an engineering drawing, then you can have it linked to multiple spots on your dashboard without worrying about, okay, how are they gonna, is this document engineering or is it drawing or is it finance, right? So you have solved that problem that the typical folder structure doesn't allow you to do, because the document can only live in one folder at a time. It's scalable and you can grow with it. And again, as I said, there's going to be a part 2 to this that's going to really get into the power. I have used this to manage the biggest of projects that I've worked on. And when I'm sharing information with the team, it becomes seamless because everybody understands where the information is. They go on the dashboard, they can follow the descriptions and get to what they need, right? So I want to just sort of recommend that you give it a try. This information is coming to you from a position of experience. I've used it for very small projects. I use it in my personal life with a family dashboard that has all the information that we need. One link to everything that's insurance, that's HOA, that's finance, that's accounting. The very same thing, I've used it on the smallest project with just 2 people working on it and we all collaborate and everything is there. I've used it on a project with up to 50, 60 technical staff, and almost half that amount in terms of administrators, and they all start at that hub, which becomes where the information lives. So give this a shot. If you have any questions, I'm going to put in the link and a way for you to connect with me to set up a one-on-one session if you want to deep dive into anything. Post questions, comments in the comment section. And again, if you have grown from this, go ahead, like and subscribe. There will be more coming out. And more importantly, if there is somebody on your team, somebody you know who may benefit from this information, please feel free to go ahead and share this video with them and have them join us here on the Smarter Manager YouTube channel, where we all just sort of lean on each other's experience and become the smarter manager with time. All right, so until next video, this is Rohan. Thanks for joining.